Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, we measure our amplitude in the rundown.
Plus, we speak with Mega Man creator Keiji Inafune to talk about his new game, Mighty Number 9.
And then we have an overview of the best games and apps for the iPhone 6s Plus. Also coming up, Bethesda hits the toy table. We have some artificial mind and movement as we relive the 25 seasons of EP and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. And in case you have missed it, we are wrapping up our relationship with City and G4 Canada at the end of December. Now, I am talking to other potential partners behind the scenes, but if you like what we do at EP and you want to support us, the best thing that you can do is go to our YouTube channel, watch some content, comment on it, and subscribe. Now, let's get to the rundown. Gamers have a new old way to rock out. Harmonix has announced that Amplitude, a reboot of their 2003 PS2 game of the same name, will speed onto consoles on January 5th, 2016. The new Amplitude was funded via a successful Kickstarter campaign last year, and anyone who contributed will be able to start playing the game 2 weeks before everyone else. The original Amplitude helped popularize the rhythm genre, with players controlling a little spaceship on a track and hitting buttons in time with the music. Its basic design influenced future Harmonix games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Hopefully the new one will be a big hit. I think it's safe to say that gamers really enjoy catching little monsters. Level 5 and Nintendo have announced that Yokai Watch has shipped 10 million copies worldwide following the game's release in North America earlier this year. Expect that number to shoot up when the game finds its way to Europe next year. Yokai Watch was first released in Japan back in 2013, and a sequel has already been released in the country, along with an anime TV series. There's going to be plenty more Yokai Watch in the future. Level 5 has hinted that it plans to bring the series to the Wii U and Nintendo's upcoming console, the NX. They still have some catching up to do if they want to beat the other big monster catching RPG, Pokemon. That franchise is currently sitting at about 270 million units worldwide. Here to help me discuss all of this fun stuff in the rundown today is EP's own little monster, Marissa Roberto.
So sweet.
All right, let's talk about this Yokai Watch phenomenon.
I love yokai.
Not a surprise, right?
No, not at all. Are you kidding me? Of course people love yokai. If people love Pokemon, people are going to love yokai.
Sure.
I feel like yokai is even further stretching because I feel like it's new and you can introduce new people to it. Sometimes I feel like people that see the craze of Pokemon, they're scared to jump into it because they don't really...
It's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
And also, I think if you you kind of come at the Pokemon games and you miss a few, they all feel very, very similar. And I feel like one of the things that holds that game back for me personally is that there just hasn't been enough real technological progression. But Yokai Watch felt different. It felt like you were sort of traversing through a living, breathing little 3D town, and everything sort of happens in real time.
There are special things about yokai, about yokai that make it unique, and I'm happy that people are grabbing onto it. Yes, it has a long way to go to get those Pokemon numbers, but I feel like it's good that there's another brother to Pokemon.
I'm not super enthusiastic or crazed for this new Amplitude game, but I know that a lot of people really hold that original, fondly in their heart. Are you one of those people?
Of course. No, I think it's cool and everything. I just don't have any kind of affinity for rhythm games right now. I feel like I'm mostly over it. I think it's cool that they're out there, but I had so much love for them so long ago that I feel like I kind of let that go, and there's other games in front of me and I'm playing these now, so.
I am excited to review it and to get the final and to see, I want to have my opinion changed and my mind changed about it. But you're right, we've had so many rhythm experiences that I feel a little burnout from it. I loved Guitar Hero Live though, because it really kind of changed the formula. That was a really exciting new way to interpret that. And Rock Band 4 is a very solid game, but it also feels very familiar.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to wait for it to come out.
Yeah, we'll see how Amplitude does. But right now, we've got to take a look at Mighty Number 9, which is coming out in 2016.
I am here with a legendary game creator, Keiji Inafune-san. We are talking about Mighty Number 9. This game looks fantastical, and I want to play it. What is it about this genre specifically that is so fun to create a game world around?
はい、このゲームってやっぱりゲームする上でコントローラーの指先と
The player and the main character that he's controlling, the connection is really strong. It's really direct, so people can easily understand the control, start getting moving, and having that good feeling from the gameplay. So I think that's the main reason. It's easy to get into this kind of genre, and it's challenging. It takes time to get better. That's why I think people like this kind of genre.
And who exactly is the Mighty Number 9? Is that a specific character, or what happened to the other 8?
主人公ベックっていうのはですね、
So Mighty Number 9, the main character Beck, is the youngest sibling of this whole Mighty Numbers. Actually, the Mighty Numbers is a team that compete in what we call the Battle Coliseum in the robot combat tournament. And they are actually the strongest team. However, Beck is actually the weakest link. When this whole robot virus break out, Beck is the only one who didn't get affected. So it's now up to him to save his brothers and sisters fighting against them.
So being that Beck is the weakest of the 9, how does he get stronger? Does he go to the gym? Is he just earning power-ups, bulking up?
ベック自体はですね、
Beck himself, he actually doesn't have any sort of a special weapon or ability to himself. But his fellow Mighty Numbers, his brothers and sisters, they actually have one ability that's that's unique to them. But Beck doesn't. His ability is to copy and manipulate other robots' ability. So as he go along defeating his brothers and sisters, he will actually gain their ability, copy and scan them, and incorporate to his own use. So the further he goes, he will gain more ability, more power, and get stronger.
Finally, we know when Mighty Number 9 is going to be coming out next February.
Finally. I like how you pronounce the R in February.
I pronounce it, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Some
I
people
was born
don't.
in February,
Oh,
and
see,
I like
when
to say it properly.
You're holding on
February.
to it. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we've got Secret of Evermore.
This episode of EP Daily is brought to you by Collective Minds, the makers of the PS4 Cool and Charge stand and the Xbox One Media Hub, available at EB Games.
I'm Jeff Hickman. I'm the general manager from BioWare Austin, and I'm responsible for Star Wars: The Old Republic and continuing to manage that giant, awesome game. I have a really personal memory about Star Wars, and I can remember standing in line around a block to watch that premiere of Star Wars, and I can remember sitting and just being shocked by what I was seeing on the screen. And I can remember the cantina scene and the music in the cantina, the arm getting cut off. And the impact that it had on me emotionally, like I was like, oh, it was scary and exciting and real, like real. Now I have this joy, this opportunity, to the honor of working on a Star Wars game. And I can't tell you how awesome it is.
Man, I love those guys down at BioWare Austin. They are true believers.
Well, now it's time for Classic Cartridge Review. Right now, today, we've got Secret of Evermore.
Woo. Today's classic cartridge is The Secret of Evermore, which Square published in '95 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It sounds like The Secret of Mana, and it shares some sort of design elements, like a radial kind of ring menu, and you're playing with a couple of characters that are fighting in real time. But it's a different game. It was designed by American designers that worked at Square, which was unique back in the day. And it's kind of a crazy B-movie plot where you play a young boy and his dog as they get sort of strewn across 4 different historical, mythological, crazy, weird environments in this title.
Right, I was along for the ride in this one. This is my first experience with the game.
Yeah.
It did come out in 1995, so I was pretty young when it first came out.
We don't have to compare the age of the games to the age of Marissa every time.
But we can,
Yeah, we can,
if you
yes.
want to.
Yeah.
But we jump into this game, and we do meet this young boy, and you can name the boy yourself. That's what I love about these old school RPGs.
Was
You
yours
name-
Batwing?
No, it was
Okay.
not Batwing.
All right.
It was MR,
Okay.
because I still want my name in there
Got you,
somehow.
got
And I
you,
named
yeah.
the dog, because you can. I named the dog Bo, because that's my dog as well.
Okay.
My dog, okay, I don't need to get into that. But anyway, so I felt a connection to these characters because I still felt like they were my own.
Mm-hmm.
And you leave the movie theater, and the dog is just really up to no good. He gets you into some trouble here, and you're sucked into this world, into a prehistoric land. where
Fighting
you're just
dinosaurs.
Fighting dinosaurs. You don't know what the heck is going on. You have some kind of bone that you're crushing people.
Yep.
It's called a bone crusher, I believe. And that's what you do, and you meet people along the way. And what is so cool about this game is that the story is very interesting because
Yeah.
you're meeting different characters in these separate worlds, but these are characters that were sucked into this crazy experiment that got lost in these worlds as well. So I loved learning about that, and I loved picking up the pieces of the story. It's just the gameplay itself that I wasn't too attracted to.
Yeah, you kind of get hung up on some of the corners and stuff. The collision detection isn't terrific in this title, as it wasn't in Secret of Mana, especially when you look at it back in today's sort of standards. But it was massive in its scope, and you do get this, completely different background art elements when you travel to, a space station for some levels, and you're going through sort of medieval times as well in some other areas. And it was funny, and it was kind of poking fun at I think the whole genre of RPGs a little bit and how serious they can be. I think Square was trying to take a different tack with this title, and it's really still very playable. I think the real-time battling and the ability to avoid some of these constant sort of encounters with enemies that I think can plague a lot of Japanese RPGs, where you're just constantly stuck in this loop of out of nowhere you're in battles all the time. Now you can avoid it with this real-time stuff, and it makes it a little bit more interesting.
You can, but I still feel like I'm getting hurt all the time.
Yes.
There's always
Not easy.
things coming at me. Even in the beginning, there's just these flowers with vines that are constantly attacking you. And you also have to worry about your dog as well that you can switch to, which is very cool because you can play as the dog and then sniff things out, like little treasures here or there that you can use to then make potions, make alchemy potions that you can use for your own magic. I mean, there's a lot of elements here that are very cool, but I'm often distracted by the little things getting at me in the level. Like the wormhole, the little sand plots that like suck you in, then keep pushing you back. I was stuck on that level forever.
Yeah, part of it is navigating through the 2D overhead perspective. There are limitations, still very imaginative. I think it's still worth playing if you're looking for kind of a retro RPG experience, if you can dig this up somewhere. Secret of Evermore is a fun game. What are you giving it?
It's fun, but it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
You can find it. I'm gonna give this game a 6.5.
Gets an 8 from me.
Secret of Evermore, another little gem from Victor Lucas.
It's fun to go back in time, right? And take a look at those. Well, speaking of which, we're going back in time in our 25 seasons in 25 days segment. Today, Donna visits A2M.
What do you think the hallmark of an A2M game is? Like when an A2M game comes out, it's going to be ...
It usually is an action-adventure game based on, it's a third person based on a character. Most of the time it's licensed, though we do our own original stuff.
Tell me about the highlights and your favorites over the years.
So in 2000 we did Monster Inc., which was based on the movie. And in 2005 we did Scalar, which was an original that we're very proud of. And then we did Happy Feet. We did lately a karaoke game based on High School Musical that was very successful. We did Iron Man. We're doing Indiana Jones. We're doing Wet, which is a much mature title on Xbox 360 and PS3. So we have extended our range. We're always looking for original title, but we do like to do the licensed title also.
What's the difference between working on a licensed title like Iron Man or Indiana Jones and making an original IP like Wet? What are the challenges?
Totally different. I think that when we're working on Iron Man, we have a defined set of rules, and we know what the character is going to do. The gameplay is confined to what is the universe of Iron Man, and when we're doing Wet, we have to create that. So it takes a lot more time to do Wet because we have to set those rules. And sometimes we're setting those rules for years.
Now, just going back to your name for a moment, artificial mind and movement really makes me think about like a virtual gaming. Do you think that you guys are really pushing the envelope in a creative sense?
Sometimes I find that we do. Even on licensed product, I think that we are doing incredible stuff on all platforms. Basically, this is our passion. Are we succeeding? Sometimes we are. Sometimes people say we don't. But but we're trying every game to be very creative and to be very innovative.
Hi, Miss Donna. She was with us for a few years, and now she works for the United Nations.
That's amazing, girl. Hashtag
proud of
life
her.
goals. Yeah, way to go. Don't go anywhere because after the break, Vic has got some toys for you.
I do. This episode of EP Daily is brought to you by Collective Minds, the makers of the PS4 Cool and Charge stand and the Xbox One Media Hub, available at EB Games. Welcome back to EP Daily. We are doubling down on Bethesda in the toy table. Man, I'm enjoying Funko stuff more and more because they are spending that pop vinyl money, you know, all those little bobblehead type of figures that are everywhere and are making Funko tons of money. They're spending them on really cool kind of genre, more specific action figures, and I've got two that I love right now. I've got the Power Armor suit from Fallout, and I've also got the Dovahkiin from Skyrim, and both of these characters have been very well modeled. I really dig all of the special details that they have. The Power Armor has got not only all of the plating and the extra accoutrements to protect all of the joints and angular positions of the character that's going to be carrying that armor on his back, but you've also got tubing and piping that's coming in from the mask. You've got the little extra sensors and cameras on the helmet. It's got a very well detailed laser rifle that looks like it's just been ripped from the game. That's the thing about both of these characters, is they are really great embodiments of the sort of physicality of the game design that's in both Skyrim and in Fallout. Now you can have them and have them stand next to your television as you're playing the game, which is excellent. I love the fact that the Dovahkiin character has two swords to go into combat with, and there's lots of great detailing on the way that he actually holds the swords, and it's also got a sheath for one of the swords if you want to keep that just at his side at all times. There's actually some really great detail of fur around the boots, and it looks like there's little laces and leather straps and stuff. He's also got a kind of a fur kilt going, and of course this very menacing mask with the horns protruding out of the sides. Incredible design on that character. I would love bigger versions of these for sure, and I think the Power Armor looks a little skinny. You know, it looks like it's been sort of trimmed to fit into the packaging. I would like a beefier, bulkier Power Armor because that's what it feels like when you're playing Fallout, but I can't complain. These are terrific figures. They're not that expensive. They're gonna cost you less than 30 bucks. Isn't this an incredible age that we're living in, where we get action figures that are this well detailed, so closely timed to the release of these big games? Very, very cool. But speaking of big games, Marissa and I recently took a look at our favorite apps and games for the iPhone 6s. Let's take a look. This year, Marissa and I joined the same club. We have the iPhone 6s Plus, and they are phenomenal for games, but one of the big things that they have with the device this year is 3D touch, and obviously a lot of super fast processing power as well, and many of you are going to be picking these things up for the holidays or receiving one for the holidays, so we thought we'd talk about some of our favorite games and apps for the iPhone 6s Plus.
Aren't we so nice?
We are very nice. What would you say is one of yours?
One game that just came out that I've been playing a lot of is Rayman Adventures, because obviously you know that I love the Rayman series. The new one is basically like an endless runner type deal, but you are changing directions, and then you just tap the screen to jump, and I absolutely love that. I love collecting all the things. I love its charm, as Rayman does, always.
The FIFA Ultimate Team looks absolutely beautiful. It's not a 3D touch game, but it absolutely looks like a console experience from a few years ago, but it's still gorgeous. You're going to get asked to give EA money at every sort of stop in the way, but once you get on the field, it's super fun, and of course, managing your team is a blast. I love NBA 2K16, especially with a controller. It is like an absolute console escape. But if you want 3D touch, you can go to a classic. It's called Badland, which is an unbelievably cool platforming game, puzzle type game as well. Beautiful graphics. And AG Drive, which is an anti-gravity driving racing game, is absolutely killer too. It's very difficult, and it looks incredible. It looks like Wipeout on your phone, with lots of really incredible sensitivity and lots of cool craft to race against.
If you're gonna kick it old school, I think we should talk about Epic Games for a second, because they have a really beautiful, I want to say game, but it's more like an app. It's called Zen Garden, and it's stunning. Like, everything inside is beautiful, and it's very tranquil and relaxing, and you can play it while you're on a flight if you want. I played it on the plane right down here. Thing is, though, it does take a lot of power, and I felt my iPhone getting hot.
Well, I got a couple of other games that qualify in that category as well. There's Prune, which is just like it sounds. You prune trees as they're trying to grow and blossom into little flowers in the sunlight. It's beautiful. And then there's also Lumino City, and basically it's like a little puppet that you're cruising through, almost like video quality backgrounds and animations. Absolutely gorgeous, but kind of an adventure type of experience where you're clicking on different things on the screen to activate the puzzles and open doors and just keep accessing more of the city. Beautiful.
You mentioned a 2K game earlier, and I think that I would like to mention now a card game that I've been playing. I know it's really silly, but I'm addicted to these things. It's the NHL Supercard, NHL 16 Supercard, and so much fun. I don't know why it's fun to be playing with these cards on the ice. I don't even get it. I don't know why it sucked me in so much. Maybe because it's free, and I do like the free.
One of the best things about playing on the big screen like this, and obviously this works on Android phones and stuff too, is just they look incredible. It's like you're carrying around a little TV, and you've got beautiful, high-def graphics. So there you go. You may want to rewatch that because we were very fast, but there's a lot of ideas for the iPhone 6s Plus. Seriously, if you pair NBA 2K16 on the iPhone with a controller, you would not believe the fidelity of the experience. It's incredible. Stick around. We're going to be right back with the Twitter question of the day. If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Welcome back to EP Daily. It's time for our Twitter question of the day. This one is from our old friend, Mr. Precision, Mr. Underscore Precision. Let's get that right. Hi, Kyle. I know you don't like ruining your perfect hair, but what headphones would you suggest to enhance my gaming experience? Yeah. I'm not a headphone wearer, but I do like the Astro, I think they're the 51s, the white ones that make me look like I'm in Jet Set Radio Future. I like those.
Yeah, you like those. I have a couple from Plantronics, actually, but because I think they make really great gaming headphones, but there's a rig that I wear when I game, and it's really cool because you can actually switch over. If you have a cell phone plugged in and you have music plugged in, you can listen to that, or if you're talking to somebody on the phone, you can adjust the volume. It's so freaking cool. I'm miming it because that's what I'm doing. I'm like playing and doing this.
So you're just adjusting the volume, but you feel like a DJ.
I feel like a DJ, yeah. It's pretty freaking sweet. And also, there's these Backbeat Plus, they're Sense Pros. But anyway, I can't wear them for too long, just like you. Yeah. I don't know if the top of your head hurts after a while.
Just it all squishes.
Yeah,
my
everything
cranium.
gets squished.
Yes. Good question. And listen, if you've got one for us, go to our website, epn.tv. But don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/EPNTV.
We've got more coming for in the next episode of EP Daily, including a look at the brand new Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
Someone's excited.
I am.
Thanks for watching. EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
We pride ourselves on listening to our fans and working with our fans, so we're actively involved in Twitter. We talk to them on forums, on message boards. We really get to the root of what do they love about the game, what would they change about the game, and make sure that we're making a game that fans want to play.